Contribute to learning about Black men's health across the DMV by participating in the Strengths and Stressors Study at George Washington University. This study looks at how Black men cope with stressors like discrimination, unemployment, police harassment, and housing instability, and how those coping methods affect Black men's health. You will be compensated between $200 and $250 for your time while learning more about how stress affects your health. For more information, text 202-596-2743 or email strengthstudydc@gmail.com. You can also find the eligibility questionnaire in our bio and Linktree.
What are you doing, beloved?
Attention, attention, my black brothers. What I want y'all to do right now is take out the do-rag, the silky, tie it down. I want to see the waves glistening. If you got nappy hair, pick it. Don't let nobody discourage you.
Ariel.
Black boy.
But you said you had to put some lotion on?
Yeah, girl.
Girl, why
I
do you
had
look
to
like
put
a
some dry.
UPS driver today?
It's because of the polo, which actually looks good overall, like in the fit. But, from the neck up, it's just, that's what it's going to do.
It's very much, package delivery.
I got the shirt from Zara, too, so that's really funny.
Zara makes shirts. The polo looks. Is it like?
It's actually
bitch.
really cute in person, I promise.
I hope so, because I'm sweating. Let me stop being shady to you, girl. I'm like, okay, really quickly, since I'm getting back into like my. You see, the beard is coming back, and the skin is like glistening, girl. What skin regime are you? What is your go-to skin regime for you right now in this moment, if you have one?
Yeah, so I just bought another, even though I hadn't used this company in a really long time, I bought a Shea Moisture exfoliant to do first. And then after that, I use CeraVe bar soap to wash my face.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after that, I will do a rose water toner. And then right after that, I use another spray, but I forgot what the hell that was called. And it's like watermelon scent, and I love it. Oh, I love it so much. And then after that, I will either do, if it's the morning time, I'll do my morning oil. If it's the nighttime, I will do the nighttime serum. That actually does a really nice, like I'll wake up the next day feeling like, oh my God, my face is so refreshed. And then sometimes I'll put shea butter on it as well, just like a tinge though, because Shea Moisture is so thick.
Bitch, I did not know you was gonna do. I thought I was trying to brag about myself, bitch, and I'm over here listening to your shit. I'm like, bitch, let me go. Find me a toner. Find me a scrubber. Literally, the only thing I use is I think Cetaphil, like a facial scrub.
Oh yeah, the people love
shower.
Cetaphil.
I use it. Yeah, Cetaphil. I use it daily because as you probably last episode, I have hair bumps that grow in. That go away pretty fast. So I have been using the Cetaphil every day in the shower, and then when I got out, I would use this the moisturizer. But then after that, I have this Baby Dove oil that's melanated oil that is actually really good for your skin. I looked at the products, and it's nothing that's any chemical crazy toxins in it and stuff like that. So I've been really using that regularly, but bitch, that's all I've been using. The scrubber in my bath in the shower, and the moisturizer, and then the baby oil. But bitch, the fact that you're using all this, I use my rose water every now and then. Bitch, when I have a long day and I need to bada bing bada boom.
The sprays are just really helpful. If I don't end up putting any moisturizer on my face and I just finish my routine with the sprays, my face actually responds really well to it. And I try not to put too much moisturizer on my face because that's usually when I start to get an oil buildup, and I'll see that almost instantly. But you know what is one of my favorite parts of my skincare regime? Regimen? Whatever.
Regimen.
It is getting a haircut. Every time my barber lines me up, every time I leave the chair, I notice that my skin looks significantly better. So that is just like a natural part, that part of hair removal, because I know my barber is getting it. Like he doesn't take the clippers and just go across my face, but whatever he is doing is getting the hair enough that it just like revitalizes my face. I love it so much.
Yeah, I love that. Like when niggas get haircuts, their fucking skin, our skin, is like looking just like immaculate. Like I started to like also like, cause I'm trying to keep this thicker instead of like, just like simply doing this. So like when I go shave, I like stop right here and like I could see like the skin just like, it just looks amazing for guys. And I think I said this before, is like when we don't manipulate our skin, and our barbers are the ones that go in and like shave the hair, just like really, really get into it. I love a good man with a good haircut. Like I know I like a little roughness sometimes, baby. I need you to come right out that barbershop, because if you come right out that barbershop, I'm going to come. Okay? Like, just if you come to my house and you have that fresh haircut on, let's go to the bathroom right now. Let's go to the bedroom.
Go to the bathroom.
Let's go to the bathroom. I don't know why I said bathroom. Let's go to the bedroom. Let's go to the bathroom. Let's go where we got to go to do our
That
stuff.
reminded me of Married to Medicine. Let's go to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom.
This season, I've been consistently watching too, sister.
Oh, I love
Very
that for
much.
you.
We could get into it, but let's get into it, sis. What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Lord Jeffrey.
And I'm Derwin King.
And welcome back to another episode of That Black Boy Joy, where we create a space where black boys can be themselves and
so much more.
Hi, lovely.
Hi.
How are you? I needed to, my
Great.
computer, bitch. Was that my, well, see, that's why I need to turn, I don't know how to turn that off. But here we are.
What'd you do?
Did you hear it's like a bling?
Mm-mm.
Did you hear that? Oh, never mind. I'm going to shut my fat ass up. How have you been, lovely? We haven't, sat across to each other in so long.
I've been blessed and highly favored, except that I was sick for like the 2 weeks that we were not recording. Yeah, I lost my voice and everything. It was so bad. I mean, like, and it's only like 80% back now. There were like major gaps in my range, which was really frustrating because I just wanted to sing along to Renaissance and I couldn't.
Oh my gosh, heated.
Okay, that's all I could do was hit it. That was literally the only sound I could produce.
My sister heated. That was all she could do. Oh my God. No, that sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. No, I told you, girl. So I was out like KO'd because my job had a conference that is like one of the largest like policy making conferences like nationwide. So everybody in the building, anybody you could think of was at the conference, and I had to be on every day from Wednesday to Sunday. And there was parties that was happening every day, open bar, then conference meetings, then the networking meetings, a brunch. I just was like so like exhausted. Like I had slept probably like for a day or two.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And it was crazy because my body never just can sleep through, but like I needed to rest because I would go out. I'll go out until like 2 or 3, wake up at 7 every day. 2 or 3, wake up at 7. The liquor is not getting out of my system. The liquor is just sitting there, like marinating in my pores. And I'm like, child, I don't get it. But it was a really good time. A lot of networking was happening. I got to meet Joe and Kamala. Got to see Megan Good, Amar Hardwick. Like, so I got to meet some celebrities and stuff that as well. So
Aww.
I was like, it was cute.
So you had a good time overall? I know you were really busy.
I did not talk to nobody. Like, unless you were there in front of me, I wasn't even talking on the phone the whole. Like, my family was like, I'm texting like, I can't talk right now, just because there were so many things that I was doing or partaking in that I just literally just didn't have the energy to like respond back until Sunday.
Yeah, that's what it means to be present.
Yeah, until Sunday, I was like, all right, y'all, I'm going to be asleep until Tuesday. Because my job, after we got back, we had the next 3 days off. So the conference was Wednesday to Sunday, but then Wednesday to Saturday? No, Wednesday to Saturday. I don't remember. Wednesday to Sunday, whatever. And then we had Monday through Wednesday off. So I technically started back work on Thursday, but I was working before then, so.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yeah. Because I work with the kiddos, so I gotta, make sure they're crazy. I mean, not crazy and all that, but yeah. But I'm glad you're better though, sis. I'm glad you're resting and healing, and I wasn't trying to throw shade calling you a UPS driver. You know I love you. So
I didn't feel no shit about that.
the listeners probably like, bitch, not you calling your friend a UPS driver.
I wouldn't worry about that.
I could not. Let's get into the spotlight. Let's get into
okay.
that.
So today's Black Boy Joy Spotlight goes out to Mr. Moses West. He is a retired Army Ranger and CEO of the Paladin Water Technology and the founder of Water Rescue Foundation, which is doing really important work right now in Jackson, Mississippi. As many of you are probably aware, there's about an estimated 180,000 people who do not have full access to clean, potable water there. Yeah, that's been going on for a while. So those people are relying on a scarce supply of water and like bottled water. I've seen videos of people turning their water on and it just is running brown, which is a complete nightmare. And Jackson, Mississippi is not far from here in New Orleans.
What?
Yeah. So the Moses West Foundation has been using atmospheric water generators to provide clean and fresh water to those in need. So I believe these generators like take the humidity from the air and like they'll take the water from the air and like purify it. And you'll see like he's got the machine and it's running clear water. So he's been servicing the people of Jackson for a bit now. So if you are interested in helping out in that initiative, just visit www.moseswestfoundation.org. And shout out to Moses West. Thank you for doing the work.
Yes, I did not know that was happening.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that was happening at all?
No.
Yeah, baby. Them people have been down and out. Like, I think it was a little over a month ago that I saw a tweet that was like, Jackson doesn't have clean water and our mayor thinks he's like
doing
it. Hustle and flow or some shit. It was just like, I don't know. Their mayor is he's pulling stunts.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, definitely I'm glad that he's doing that. I'm glad that he's providing some water to the individuals there. And I'm just glad that he's trying to, give them something. Because I know that is really shitty. Just like Flint, not having running water.
Yeah, we have a lot of that in this country.
It's just crazy how our water is just like so tampered with.
And you should have seen, people love taking the opportunity to be like, oh, I mean, and I'm not saying that like America doesn't put itself on a pedestal, but there were people from countries outside of this one who are like, I live in a developing nation and we've never experienced that. Even our well water is cleaner than that. And I was like, well.
You said what? No. Girl, I got my second dose of my monkeypox thing and I'm kind of nervous about it.
Why?
Because I feel like it's like really like, it's like red, but like, do you see the line?
Oh, yeah. What is that?
I don't know.
So the scar that I got is, I feel like you can barely see it now, but
Yeah.
like there's just like this little teeny, like mine didn't get big at all. But a lot of people are having very different reactions to it. Shout out to you for getting both doses. I know some people who only got one. I know some people who didn't get one, and maybe they don't need to now because the people responded to monkeypox the way we all should have responded to COVID. But that's neither here nor there.
So I'm gonna probably go to the doctor tomorrow because last time I had like the line like this, I had an infection.
Oh.
So because it's like I'm like,
where does that vein travel to?
Bitch, I don't know. That's why I'm like, I need to go figure it out.
Oh my God.
I need to go to the doctor. Yeah, because that didn't happen my first time, so I don't know if y'all see that, child. You see that,
but
red
the first
line.
one was different, right? You didn't get the same kind of shit because the first one they put like in the muscle or whatever, like they.
This is my first one right here.
The second one, oh, this is your first.
This is my first one. This is my second one.
Wait, what's the first one?
Right here.
Oh, so you got them both the same.
And it's in the same. I got this one a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, because okay. So my first one I got in the arm, like it was done in the muscle. So it was under the skin. It was like actually in the muscle, but the second one was the way you got yours, like just under the skin. Yeah, that is a little weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the doctor after this. I was
don't get too anxious about it, though, girl.
But no, I went to the doctor last time and I had an infection, but I had a spider bite, and the spider bite got in and did that to me. So I got a spider bite, and I started to see like it started to travel. So
girl,
they
you
gave
was
me some
turning into
antibiotics.
Spider-Man. That was a
Bitch,
blessing.
I literally was turning into. I was like,
You blocked your blessing going to the. I'm just playing.
no, girl, I need to block the blessings. But I also forgot to mention to our listeners and to our like guests and things like that, we actually have a special guest in the building with us that'll be tuning in later with us. So for today's episode, we have none other than Will on the Will on YouTube. He also goes by Willnotwhilly on Instagram. He is a YouTuber, social media influencer, and content creator. He'll be joining us. You all probably know him for his tutorials and his self-care tips about hair, natural hair styles and protective hairstyles and all things hair. He'll be joining us in our next session of the meat and potatoes portion. So we just want to let y'all know to stick around, tune in, all of that stuff. We're going to go into our little, rants, of course, and see how things are going. But our guests will be in the building with us shortly. So we did not want to forget that, because it's going to be a great conversation about all things skin, hair, beauty, Black males, and content and all that. So I almost forgot to mention that. I was like, no. But yeah, girlie.
So
Let's get into this shit.
Let's do it. I don't know if you noticed, but there was like a string, especially like last Tuesday, of celebrity divorces that like just sort of started popping up. So the one that took me out, I mean, oh my God, hurt me to my core, was Tia Mowry and Corey Hardrick, who I have had I've really enjoyed their marriage for some reason. I don't typically get involved in like, celebrity relationships, but I love Tia Mowry. So I was really obsessed with her long 14-year marriage to Corey. Like they were together for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I always really enjoyed them. However, when I say that, I mean that I knew very little about what was actually happening in their marriage. Naturally,
bitch, everybody did.
Because they were
they
were on that Black Love special, and then like that clip was surfacing of her, like he was
talking.
speaking and she said something, and he was like, "Let me finish."
I was all like,
"Relax." So
relax.
They were one. Miguel and Nazanin, his wife, again
Divorce.
have filed for divorce.
They've again. This not the first
They
time?
had separated before. They were. I don't remember how long ago this was. Maybe it was last year, but they had separated for a little bit, and I was like, "Oof!" But then they had got back together. I know that happened. But then Giselle, you know who this is? Giselle and Tom Brady.
Yeah. The football player.
Right. So they've been holding on for a long time, honey. But apparently, the people saying that Tom told Giselle that he would retire and focus on their family, and he did retire for a little bit, if I recall correctly, and then he unretired, and then to no one's surprise, they started having marital issues, and so now they're openly going through a divorce, and they said Giselle she practices some sort of le magic, honey. That's what the people said. Now I don't know about that.
I got the voodoo pussy.
That's what the internet said. I don't know about that.
She said she doing that witchcraft on him.
So we'll see. And then the last one that really shocked the hell out of me, Cynthia and Mike.
I thought that wasn't real, sis. I literally seen people say they weren't, because she took his name out of the bio. People said that they've seen them together twerking, and then we get the file of divorce after 2 years.
Love Cynthia. She has married in front of us twice. On Real Housewives of Atlanta, she got married twice. And neither of those marriages were successful.
That's it. And the funny thing about it was he was known for cheating before her.
That's what the people have been reminding us of, who I don't know that is why they separated.
It's not my job. I'm not saying he's a cheater.
It's so easy to believe that that's like the issue, except that then you realize, like, I don't know. I feel like conversations are changing. I can't say this about Cynthia and Mike because they've only been married for 2 years, but when you look at a marriage like Giselle and Tom Brady's or Tia and Corey's, and it's lasted for so long, how we view love, relationships, mental health, all of that has changed significantly over the last 14 years. So when we see that video where Tia's on the red carpet and the interviewer says to her, "You are glowing." And she says, "Oh, I'm putting self-love." Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are things that we weren't telling married people to prioritize themselves, right? It was always prioritize your marriage over anything else, fight for your marriage. And I'm certainly one who believes that people should fight to keep relationships that mean something to them or that they want to be successful. But I think women are receiving different messages about marriage. They have over the last probably five to 6 years, where people are like, hey, you know, you're important and you don't have to sustain a relationship if it's not healthy for you. So I will say that for people who have been together for a really long time, I can only imagine that it's much easier to come to terms, or much more accessible to come to terms with those feelings and not feel as much shame and be like, all right, well, I'm just going to get ahead and like call this quits. But that's just how I imagine that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that much about Tia's. Is that Tia? Is it Tia? Yeah. Tia and Corey's relationship.
It isn't Tamara, I can tell you that.
She loved that white man. She loves that white man. I wished, or I hoped that they would have been able to be, you know, together. But if you're not happy, please do not stay. I wish I knew more about the relationship, but I don't know that much, and they just had a kid. So, you know, I just wish, you know, I look like she's doing well. You know, of course,
she does. Recovery. She looks very happy. Very, very happy.
Yeah, there's a recovery that she's going through, but I just, you know, want to wish all of these people the best of luck, because some of these people have kids involved.
I do want to say that at least two of these people have done the Black Love special on OWN. So I don't know what's going on over at Oprah Winfrey Network Studios, but the fact that two of these couples participated in that special and are no longer together is really something.
I mean, also, speaking of divorces or separation, Ashley Darby and Michael.
Yeah, very excited about that. Although it probably doesn't really mean anything. The girls keep calling Ashley stupid, and don't get me wrong. Like, I don't mind people insulting Ashley. I like her. But there's enough material she's offering for people to be like, you know, to say whatever about her. But the last thing I think that she is stupid. I do not think Ashley Darby is a dumb girl. I think she plays dumb all the time.
Because she's trying to like keep that money thing, because her trying to buy a house in the LLC. I don't know. It's kind of like y'all not divorcing because that money is going to be.
It's giving scheme.
It's giving scheme. It's giving. Is this FDA approved?
I mean, she would visibly withhold truth at reunions when being questioned about Michael and like, oh, the butt grabbing. She would never lie, right? She would never say, oh, it didn't happen. She would say things like, I don't think that happened. And it's like, you know that it did.
That happened, Trick.
She would say, oh, well, he beat those charges. Like, that case was dropped. Like, she would specifically speak about these things in ways that would like not get her in trouble legally. And I don't think you accidentally do that. Like, I don't think a dumb person knows not to say incriminating things, right? Dumb people say things that incriminate them all the time. Ashley never does that. Ashley's really good about speaking around certain things. So the easiest thing is to call her stupid, but I think the issue is that she is truly a strategic girl, willing to do anything to get that bag with this ugly gremlin looking ass man.
Not the gremlin man, the muffin man, who lives on Drury Lane. It's a very awkward relationship, and I'm like,
she's a sugar baby. She's a sugar baby.
I'm glad they're divorcing. I'm glad that whatever they're doing, hope they separate. Hope all of that. But yeah, the premiere. How did you feel about the premiere?
I loved it. Karen served as usual, being non-problematic, cute. Giselle looks a hot ass mess per usual. Still
every
hates
season.
Mia.
Liar. Great television.
Stunning.
I met Wendy. I got a picture of Wendy at the conference.
I saw.
Yep, I have a picture of Wendy at the conference. She's so pretty in person. It smells so good.
I believe that. She looks great. And I think has the best confessional look so far. I like Candace, but she looks a mess in her confessional look. That dreads and the... I need her to get a new makeup artist because I'm getting really tired of seeing the exaggerated look on her little face. It's really obnoxious.
Not her little face.
It's a little face. She's a cute girl. Candace is a cute girl with a little face and a cute little chipmunk nose. There's no reason to keep putting that much makeup on her. It's literally overwhelming. It drags her. It just looks so insane. It makes her face look heavy. Like it just be like
Drag her.
hate it. Hate
Drag
it.
her.
And last
Drag
but not
her.
least, oh, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I like that we have the 4 OGs still on the show after 7 seasons. That has never happened before. Even though I don't care for Robin.
Yeah,
I don't care for
boring.
Giselle. I like Ashley because she brings the drama, and I like Karen because it's Karen. But yeah, that's all I
Shout
have.
out
I
to
think it was a
Karen.
good. I think they have a great batch of girls for a season. Mia's a liar, so she makes great for television because she lies about things. Not the cancer thing. I'm not speaking in regards to the cancer thing because that scare, but she could have kept it to herself.
I don't know. I think, the girls have reason to be like suspicious of what she's saying, but I also think that they should have handled it the way that Karen did. She was like, I personally wouldn't choose, and I thought it was different, but I think we should hear her out. That's exactly how you should approach that situation versus saying, well, I think she's lying or wants attention, so we should ask her. But it wouldn't be these ladies and it wouldn't be Potomac if they didn't do shit like that.
Yeah.
But, and last thing but not least on that, don't care for Sharice's return. Wish she would stay where she was at. Yeah.
Don't care for her either.
Okay.
And we're going to see a return of Katie, but that's interesting too.
Yeah, out of those green contacts she can keep. I'm a little disappointed, but I know my girl is off her rocker a little bit, so I'll take it.
Shaking.
She just, she might be. I'm pretty certain she's bipolar. Let me not.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, I think we can wrap this one up.
Yes, we can. Well, we are going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll have our guest, Willnotwhilly, in the building with us. So we'll see you all in a little bit. Stick around.
Whoop, whoop.
Hello, Black men in the DMV. If you are between the ages of 15 to 54, you can help improve healthcare services for Black men. The Strength and Stressor study at George Washington University looks at how stress from things like discrimination, unemployment, police harassment, housing instability, and coping strategies impact Black men's mental and physical health. Become a part of this study, and you'll be compensated between $200 to $250 for your time. For more information, text 202-596-2743, email strengthstudiesdc@gmail.com, or you can see if you're eligible by using the link in our bio/Linktree. Like we said, we are back by popular demand, and our guest, okay,
He making noises.
Listen, he making noises. But you all, we already told y'all who was going to be in the building with us, but we have to reintroduce our lovely guest for this episode. We have Willnotwhilly, a.k.a. Willnotwhilly, in the building. I didn't give your government name because some of the girls don't like their government names being said, so I'm not going to say that for you. But we have Willnotwhilly in the building with us. He is a YouTuber / social media influencer / content creator / bad bee / all things beauty, skin, and hair, anything you name, and simply a Black boy with joy. So
There you go.
how are you, Will?
I am great.
Welcome to that
Oh
Black
my
Boy
god.
Joy.
Thank you. I mean, I feel good. The girl right after this is going straight to the gym. I'm trying to stay in this moment as long as possible so I can avoid to not, the dread of going to the gym. But right now my energy is up. I got my little water, and I'm ready to talk.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Drink the water.
Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna hold you accountable. We're gonna be like, after the end of the episode, we're gonna be like, and Will has to go to the gym. So you all, this is where we're holding him accountable.
Yeah,
all right?
let's get into it. Yeah.
But we're super excited to have you with us today. We are going to get into all things you, of course. We call this section the meat and potatoes. This is the main part. This is why we have the podcast, and we just want to give you your platform to talk. So also, we always tell our guests, please talk your shit, brag. We are often not told to brag. We are often told to make ourselves small, but you have a platform. You do your shit. So please.
Sing your
Bring
praises,
back
baby.
narcissism.
It's
Bring
a
it back. Bring back narcissism.
It's a difference between cocky and confidence.
Right. You're right.
It's a difference. So you're being confident. You work for what you get. But before we get into all that, we always ask our lovely guest, what does Black Boy Joy mean to you?
Ooh, what does Black Boy Joy mean to me? For me, it means really like, it means a few different things. One, it means community. It means finding people who affirm you in all of who you are, not just kind of one aspect of you. I think oftentimes we fall into these relationships where it's like friendships, whatever it is, where people kind of enjoy one part of you, but then they kind of turn a blind eye to the other parts of you. It's like just full kind of unadulterated affirmation from the folks that are around you, and kind of building a community based off of that, right? Off of that energy. Two, I think for me, it is like really thinking about what your Blackness is, like what your Blackness is and how it interacts with other parts of your identity. So my identity, like I'm a Black gay boy, right? I'm a Black gay boy. And so thinking about that and thinking how I can live fully in that and not be ashamed and not like hide away from my Blackness, and how it interacts with my gayness and what that means for interactions with people on a daily basis. Like just really taking the time to educate my own self and figure out who I am within those identities. And it just means like having just being yourself and having fun and like not caring. Like joy is like not having to care about everybody's opinions, and you can kind of just be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Give you a little vocal.
Be yourself.
For your pride.
For your pride. No, we love that. We always ask our guests that because she was just standing there and she was just taking it all in. She was like, I am proud. I am queer. She said all of that. Yep. But no, thank you. We always ask our guests that. So we always get mixed experiences. We know that Black Boy Joy looks different from to everyone. So we always want to ask our guests that because that's what the show is about. Embracing our Black boy joy and what that looks like. So thank you so much for that.
I love that your definition was community based. That was cute.
Yeah.
Yes. That was nice. The communal component. Never said that either. I think that was the first time we've heard that. So I really appreciate it.
I think I get a lot of my joy. I get a lot of my joy from my community, my support, my friends. It's like they help me identify who I am, because I think the people you hang around with like reflect back to you who you are. And even with my community online, like I'll see the girls' comments, like Kim Kardashian. I'll go in her comments, and I'm like, the girls don't like her. You know what I mean? It's like, what does that say about Kim Kardashian? No shade, no tea, no shade, no tea, no shade, no tea. Probably some tea, definitely. But like, listen, you know what I mean?
Understand.
It's like when you look at your community and you think about who they are, it reflects back to you, and it helps you figure out who you are. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I get joy from knowing who I am, and so inextricably it's linked to my community. That whole process of
beautiful.
Thank you.
Understanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Empathy. No, still don't worry. It's in there at the end. But first of all, a lot of you all, I didn't give you like a proper introduction because the girls know who you are. All right, we're going to say the girls know who you are, will or no will, but we're going to give you your time to talk your stuff as well. Okay. So for you all who do not know, you start off as a YouTuber, right? In 2016, you started off a YouTuber that basically started off talking about like self-care and started to post videos about, taking care of your natural hair and a journey. And that started to get traction. You started to have people started to follow you and things like that. But before that, who was Will on a Whim? Tell the audience who you were before that, and then also how you led up to you starting your content creation.
Who was I? Girl, I don't even know.
Who were you?
No, for real. I was just Will. Girl, I tried to go by Quincy once. That's my middle name. Nobody wanted to do that, so I guess I was just Will. I grew up in New Jersey, Southern New Jersey. I went to high school in South Carolina. My sister, we moved down to South Carolina to help my sister with a new baby, my nephew. And so went to high school in South Carolina, and I think that those were the years where you like are really like forming your identity. You know what I mean? You're getting a hold on your identity.
Yes.
So South Carolina is like deep in me. And then I went to college in Rhode Island at Brown University. And then from there, I was in New York, I was in New Jersey, and then I moved to where I am now in Arizona. But during that whole process, I was just somebody trying to figure out like who I am, what I want in life, and how I can make all that happen. So I started the whole YouTube thing right out of college. Like I went to school, I was pre-med. I was going to go to school for to be a neurosurgeon. I did neuroscience in college. And then I got bit by the bug, bit by the bug of entrepreneurship. I started a business in junior year of college where I took like furniture from the girls throwing their furniture out. For like seniors leaving college, they were just throwing all this like brand new furniture out on the thing because ain't nobody, you buy all this stuff and then everybody moves away from their college town. So they throw it all out on the ground. I came with the quickness, got the U-Haul, picked it all up, and then I would take it into my apartment, refinish it. I would paint it up, hack it up, all this stuff, and then I would sell it back to people who were moving into their like senior housing. So it's kind of like that took off, and it was like, oh, this is like cool. DIY Diana. I was very much into it, and it took off, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I couldn't sustain it. Like I had to go back to school that next year, and I was like, this is too much work for one person. But I was like, yeah, entrepreneurship I think is really fun. So that kind of got the wheels turning. So post grad, it was like, hey, where do you go? Do you go to med school? Do you go figure out like entrepreneurship and what that could be? And I took the road not taken. You know what I mean? Instead of going to med school like everybody else, I did. I took the riskier option, which was telling my mom I wasn't going to med school. You know what I mean? That's a little scary, but I did that. And while I was doing that, I also like I realized in college that like I was really like. High school helped me like I was fumbling my way through figuring out who I was, but college was a place to reinvent myself and to really figure out who I am and to really put work into that.
Yeah.
And so while I found out I was interested in entrepreneurship, I also found out that my Blackness was very important to me, and I hadn't really engaged with my Blackness as much as I did when I was in college. Going to a PWI and not having too many Black people around, your identity screams. You did this. You had the same experience.
We all three of yes,
baby.
Alcoholic. Yes, we all
you just lean right into who you are. The people don't tell you that can happen, but you lean right into who you are. All in the queerness, all in the Blackness, honey.
Yeah, it's so
same.
You almost find refuge in just being you. You know what I mean? You find refuge in just being an unadulterated Black queer person. And so I came on that campus the first few weeks. I found my community very quick because you found Black people real quick on campus when it's a PWI.
You be like, where y'all at?
You can see them.
Where y'all at? Right? At the BSU all day long. but
right.
Where you at? So everybody knew each other. And so, I quickly was in this kind of this smaller ecosystem within my university where everybody was going natural. Like all the Black kids came to college and they were all like chopping their hair off, like left and right. It was 2012. Like we were at the height of the natural hair movement.
I was just about to ask if it was 2012.
We all the same year. We all the same year.
Okay, absolutely. I remember this vividly.
2012,
right.
2016.
I remember 2012 was wild for me, and I had never heard of like natural hair as a concept, or I didn't know what hair meant to people. I grew up in foster care. Like I was with families who didn't know how to take care of my hair. And so like they would just chop my hair off. And even when I was with my family, my actual family, they would chop my hair off too for other reasons that we can get into. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about natural hair until college, when everybody was chopping their hair off, sharing videos on Facebook, when Facebook was popping back in the day. Girl, if you got like 50 likes, you was it. Okay, you was famous. Listen.
Right, like, subscribe, comment.
Right, period. But
I'm screaming,
yeah, I was like, oh wow, I could like grow my hair out. Like that's a possibility for me by the end of college. Like I could just let my hair grow and not go through the forest and travel across a river just to get to the barbershop off College Hill.
Yeah.
So I just started growing my hair out, and oh my God, what that did for my confidence. Talking about like figuring out who you are and your identity, and just letting my physical body just be itself, without like constantly like shaving stuff off and manicuring everything. Like just letting my hair grow I felt a new kind of ease in my life that I had never experienced before.
Yeah, it was giving 70s. It was giving the 70s, like letting your hair grow out Woodstock.
Right.
The black version.
Right, exactly.
Hold on.
Yeah, and I started getting lots of questions about, I mean, I was deep in it, in the natural hair movement on YouTube. I was every day when I was eating lunch, I had the YouTube videos playing, Natural 85, like all the girls on YouTube who were teaching people how to take care of their hair. Every time there was some kind of new method out, I was like, ooh, gotta try that. And once my hair grew long enough, I sure enough was in the bathroom every single week, twisting my hair, braiding, figuring it all out, letting my hair speak to me. And then I started getting questions from all the other girls on campus. They were like, well, what do you do? Like, how do you braid your hair? You did that yourself? Like, what products do you use? Where are you going to get those products? And I was getting all these questions, and I was like, oh, we all don't know what we're doing. But they seem to think that I do. And I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And then post-grad, so post-grad, I was like, now that I have more time, let's start this YouTube channel. The girls have questions. I have guidance. So let's get into this. And so that's the birth of Will on a Whim.
And it's so interesting because you dabbled in you got into the natural hair beauty tips in that age where it was starting to peak, and you were like, if not the only black male doing the natural hair conversation, which was like revolutionary at that time, because we weren't in the conversation because we weren't talking about our skin and our beauty, and having long hair wasn't the go-to for us. So how was that for you, breaking into that barrier of male beauty? Because that's something that was taboo at that time. And at our time, it was that awakening. Like, the ladies were getting into it, but we weren't, ready for that conversation yet.
This is so interesting. I feel like nobody really ever asks me this question. So this is interesting that you like pointed this out, because I remember having a very specific conversation with two girls on my college campus, C and Effie. We were coming back from practice. We were like in this African modern dance group. And we were coming back from practice, and we all had natural hair, and we were all figuring it out. And I was telling them how, like, I was sweating, it was hot, but I had this like idea. I was like, I don't really see too many black men on YouTube like talking about natural hair. There's African, I can't remember his handle, but there was like African God creature or something like that on YouTube. And there was one guy, and I was like, but I was like, there's so many black women, because we were talking about natural hair. We always talk about natural hair after practice, because our hair is always like a hot mess after sweating out for like an hour. So I was like, I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And C had one of my friends, C, she already had a YouTube channel. She talked about hair. I was like, I think there's like kind of an opening for that. Like, I think I could feel that. And it was their support. Like, in that moment, they were like, you know what? You're right. And they like supported the idea from birth. Like, and I value that so much in my friends, because I have a lot of ideas all the time. But their support in that moment, just being like, yeah, you should do that. Like, that's actually a really good idea. It just gave birth to this idea, and that stuck in my brain for so long that it carried all the way through college to when I finished and graduated and I had the time to actually do it. And so I started this YouTube channel and I specifically wanted to be representation for Black people who just were not identifying as Black women on YouTube, right? People of color, people with curly hair, marginalized identities. I wanted to be that representation, or at least the start of it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, because, and then I realized that there were so many people who were like me, who grew up in families where it was against the rules to be a Black man and have long hair because that's too feminine, or it's demasculinized.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, word parts. Demasculinized. Nah, that's wrong. Something wrong about that.
Demasculization?
Yeah.
Demasculization.
Emasculating. That's what y'all looking for.
Y'all are really testing me on something today.
You got it. Emasculated.
Effeminate.
Right.
We just making word ups.
It's okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I got y'all back. That's why I'm an English language enthusiast. I try.
Nice. Perfect. At least one of us is. No, but I think that a lot of us had uncles who would be like, put some bass in your voice. Or we had grandmothers who would look at us a little weird whenever we were talking a certain way or whatever. We had to manicure ourselves like robots all throughout childhood. And it starts so early with the way that adults project onto their kids who they should be, how they should act, how they should wear their hair. And so I realized that after I put out a few videos that there was so many more people like me who went through that. And hair was so freeing for me, just growing my hair out and not caring about what my grandmother would have wanted for my hair, or what my uncle would have said, or who, you know what I mean? I was like, wow, I can like give this to other people. I can give that freedom to other people, or at least inspire them to pursue it themselves. And so, yeah, that's what's kept me going all this time. Because there's so many times where I could have just quit and like left this whole situation and be like, I'm done. I don't need to put out no more tutorials because everybody knows how to do a twist out. You know what I mean? You know how to wash your hair by now. You know, I've been on this thing for 6 years. But
hopefully.
Right, hopefully, you know. Yeah. And if you don't, then let me know, because maybe I'm doing something wrong. But I think, yeah, that's what has me going now, is like I can continue to inspire. And now it seems like there has been a very big change with men and hair, the conversation about hair and masculinity. It's really nice to see how much people have played with their hair. I mean, I think of people even like Lil Nas X and just people who are like, hair is a big part of their brand and the conversation about them and their identity, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah,
I want to switch gears for a moment and talk about content creation. So with over 450,000 subscribers on YouTube and 100,000 on Instagram, not including TikTok, your content has been growing to be adored by others nationwide. So what do you think it means to be a successful content creator?
Oh, girl. Successful. Successful. I feel like Beyonce. I feel like Beyonce and Pretty Hurts. No, I feel like Beyonce and Pretty Hurts, when she's like, I wasn't expecting that question. No, successful. I think for real, being successful, a successful content creator, I feel like there's a kind of corporate answer to that, and then there's like my answer, which is what keeps me not really caring about the numbers. Yeah. But I think the corporate answer is, when you can consistently engage a following, I think you're like successful with content creation. And I think that the underlying foundation of that is kind of storytelling and keeping people engaged in the story of who you are, and having your content kind of support that story throughout time. But for me, like the non-corporate answer, it's like when I can like be out and I'll be like grocery shopping, and then somebody will be like, Will, like from behind the apples or something, they're like, Will, and I'll turn around and it's like, I see somebody who looks like me, and they're like, oh my God, I love your videos. Like, I've been watching for like 3 years, and they look like me, and they're like, queer, they're black, they have natural hair, and they're just like living their best life with their hair. That to me feels like success. I'm like, this is so nice. And it's rare that happens because we're, there's so many people on this earth. And like you said it, not me. You said nationwide. You said I'm known nationwide. That's the words you say. I didn't say it. But even 450,000 people, it's still hard to kind of run into each other because there's so many people out here. But when I do run into somebody and they just tell me how much they appreciated my content from way back in the day, or they like reference a specific part of a video that I did once a long time ago, I'm like, this is wild. And I'm so thankful for this moment. It feels so good that something I did truly like actually helped somebody, had real impact on somebody's self-care journey. And I was like, in all those moments, I'm like, I can't stop. I can't stop doing this. Like I love that this is important. This is, no matter like how much I can convince myself that it's like, there's like other people doing this now. Like I could just leave and go. I still think it's cool and to have those moments. So
yeah,
that's success for me, at least.
I definitely want to say I appreciate you being intentional about being the face or having visibility for people that don't look like you. I think it's oftentimes we try to find people that do that instead of creating it ourselves. So I appreciate that you took it upon yourself to be like, I'm not about to go looking for people. I'm about to be me. And then people eventually started to look to you, which is like, well, look what happened. And I think with you in the acknowledgement of like, Black and queer, in that space of us not, being able to express ourselves through like, skin, hair, beauty and things like that. I think that was really impactful because I watched you growing up and I didn't have a head full of hair, but just seeing the joy that you had, or just I think the charisma that you portrayed and just being charismatic, I think that's what drew people in. And to not only the content that you were putting, but like the person that you were, putting for people to know and get to know. I think that's also something that's very like a key thing to have is like being a content creator, you have to be able to like, make people fall in love with you. And I think it's not only about the content, but it's also about the personality. Like anybody can be skilled at, doing hair, but can you talk about it and make it look like it's something that's entertaining? Like, okay. Right. And I think that you were able to merge those two. And I think that I say shout out to you as a Black boy to another Black queer boy. Like we need the visibility, and I just appreciate just the conversation right now. But I know, Derwin, you have another one, but I just want to just, like, give you your flowers and let you know that you are one for me in our years of 2016, 2012, the identity of college in that phase. So that's what I say before we continue.
No, thank you. I was going to say,
no, you're
no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I was going to say, like, you were saying some things, and I think, like, one, like, timing of things for me is, like, very, I pay attention to. I realized that me figuring out that I was, like, very interested in entrepreneurship was also, like, having that happen kind of simultaneously with me also figuring out how much my hair was self-care, and being on YouTube and having the natural hair movement happen at that particular time. It all kind of descended onto one point, which was that, like, I'm just somebody who if I see a gap in something, or if I see a problem, like, how can I fix it? You know what I mean? I always kind of look to, and I think that's a quality of, like, an entrepreneur is, like, if there's an issue out there, how can I fix it? What solution can I bring here? And then they just take a little extra step, like, how can I make money off of this thing? But but I also, if I see something that I can represent for, and I think it carries some potential for impact, like, why not me? If not now, when? If not me, then who? That kind of whole thing. So it's like,
right,
just get to the work, just do it.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
So as a brand ambassador, you have the opportunity to work with many companies and to collaborate with them. So I would like to know what has been your most enjoyable collab so far, and then also who you want to collab with in the future.
This is kind of a hard question because I think I enjoy quite a few different collaborations for different reasons. And yeah, there's so many. I mean, I've worked with quite a few. I've been so blessed, really, to have worked with
I know
like
that's right.
quite a few people. I really do feel blessed because it's like I was just doing this at first, truly just like I said, to kind of like teach the kids how to take care of their natural hair, and
Mm-hmm.
then it just turned into a business, and I was like, oh, this is perfect because, like I said, I wanted to try entrepreneurship, and so with that came a lot of partnerships. And while the conversation could just be squarely about money, it truly, oftentimes, it's way more than that. Like I think it's about work. Like the people behind the collaborations, the people who are like running these companies are, for me, in my experience, are always really nice, really dedicated to some cause, or just like are dope people. So it's hard to say what my favorite collaboration is, because I feel like it's not necessarily about the output of the collaboration, the video that I made or whatever. It's usually the teams behind it that I feel like they end up being like homies, like friends. Like I can just call up the girls over at, I don't know, some company that I that I worked with, and we might like go out to dinner or something. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can't think on the top of my head of one. But
That's all right. What
all
about
of
the future ones you'd like to work with?
You said all of them.
All of them. I've always wanted to work. Who doesn't want to work with Beyonce? Like Beyonce, if there's some kind of way that we could work together, Miss Girl, put out the vibes, put out the energy.
Hey,
I need all of us to touch and agree right now and just pray that this happens.
All right.
Okay, touch and agree.
We all want to work with Beyonce.
No, for real, that would be so much fun. But I think,
I can see Rihanna as well. I think
Rihanna.
She does,
I
like,
was
beauty
wondering
and
because
stuff
she
like that.
said there was lots of rumors that she was going to put out like a hair brand or something, like a hair product.
There's been rumors about the album for years too. So girl,
yeah.
But she seems to be pushing out
Y'all think she's going to
products,
drop another album for the Super Bowl?
No.
She's doing a tour next year.
Oh, I guess that means
so she's going to have to. No, she's doing a tour during the summer.
Okay, where did you hear that from?
Her, Beyonce, and
Twitter,
social media, Twitter. Her, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift. I don't care about the latter, but
all together at the same time in the same thing.
I don't know. No, they're not doing that. No, Beyonce would never. Beyonce
would never.
I can do this by myself. I don't need these one trick ponies.
Okay,
but
Rihanna, I don't. Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that Rihanna's going to go on tour if she don't have.
She's doing to go. Sounds like she's ready.
And
she's going to drop something for us. She is.
Hopefully, the Super Bowl is actually happening down the street from me this year. It's happening in Glendale, Arizona.
Oh shit!
So I'm trying to get in there. It's like going to be literally 30 minutes away. So I'm like, how can I get? And then I looked up the Super Bowl tickets, and that thing said $6,900 for a bad, like not even a good seat. So I might have to stand outside the stadium.
Y'all see me on the iPod. Y'all see me. Right. Y'all just need to put my ear next to the stadium.
I'll just stream it. I'll stream it, but stand outside the stadium.
Yeah, but with you having like such a successful, career in YouTube and content creation, like what advice would you believe is best for other young Black boys or Black men who want to get into this content creation or in this realm of like a beauty, skin, and hair? Like, what do you think is something that they have to, know when they're in this game of content creation?
I think you can't be afraid of calling attention to yourself. I think we all I talked about previously. It's like we grew up kind of like manicuring ourselves, making ourselves small, like trying to not bring attention to the parts of us that are like ridiculed. And so once you take all those things that people try to make you feel bad for, try to make you feel insecure about, and you take those things and you highlight those things by just being yourself, like people love that because you're being yourself. You know what I mean? Like people want to see who you are. They want to see your personality. They want to see your specific point of view on something. And so not to, it's so cliche. Be yourself. Cliche. It's very cliche, but truly, like, just be yourself. You don't have to like replicate what I'm doing or what she's doing or what they doing. But also too, you can, because you have like your own point of view, you can't be afraid to talk about the same things that other people. You can't be like, oh, this person put out a twist out video, so I can't put out a twist out video. You can put out a twist out video because it'll inevitably be a twist out video with your perspective attached to it. So when it comes to like figuring out what you want to talk about, what'd you say?
That's really good advice.
Right. You I'm like, hello. I think that you can talk about anything, like anything you want to talk about. I think that's also a hard starting point. There's a lot of startup energy and developing a YouTube channel because you're like, what do I talk about? I have to have a niche. I have to do all these things. But really, even with me, when I started, while I did put out hair videos, I threw stuff out. Like I threw spaghetti at the wall and just whatever stuck, right? I was doing travel videos. I was trying to do like, I was just doing anything, right? Because it was fun. Whatever was fun. I threw it out there. And then what's nice is that there's billions of people on this earth and you're bound to find a couple who are interested in what you're saying and what you're doing. And so just go for it. Yeah. And don't be afraid to be back and gay.
That's really good advice.
Don't be afraid to queer it up.
We be telling the girls. That's what gets the money.
I think you're going to find, I think that's good advice because I think you're going to find a lot of people who are afraid to make content because it seems like there are already, like no matter what the content is, it seems like there are already so many people doing it. I mean, the internet, there are a lot of us in the world. So naturally, when the thing is popular, a lot of people want to do it. And it can feel like a little useless to throw your own, hat in the ring. But I think you're right that because we are all individuals, we have an interesting take or hopefully we have an interesting take or opinion.
Some of y'all don't.
That can make ours stand out for a community of people. And it's important to be said, right?
It must be said.
And some of y'all just need to just keep it.
Some of y'all gonna be real mad at me.
Internal dialogue.
But it must be said.
Listen.
Some of y'all don't have interesting takes. Some of y'all should keep it. But but you know what? The majority of us do have interesting takes, and I think you should just go for it.
Majority of us.
I get it. No, I agree. I'm like, girl, you do not need a podcast.
Right.
You do not need a YouTube channel. You just don't need it.
Right.
And
but you know what? Sometimes but it's
the girls who got it.
Exactly. But you know what? You think of like
girls who got it.
Nike didn't need to come out on the scene. There was probably already a bunch of shoe brands out. You know what I mean? Like Rihanna didn't need to release a new skincare line. There was already skincare out there. But you know, at the end of the day, they got there because they had a particular perspective, and they had a perspective that allowed them to see things that other people didn't. Which is why, Savage X Fenty
Rihanna was for niggas.
Right, exactly.
Took out Victoria's Secret.
I was going to say, Victoria's Secret is out. So if you could be a disruptor, well, you never know if you're going to be a disruptor, but, Rihanna disrupted the whole thing. So just take that as, a good example of, you never know what you could be and what you could do with your perspective.
Yes, well, we want you to get to the gym, and we're going to hold you accountable like we said in the beginning. But, listen, no, we got you. Listen, as we said, no. But we want to respect your time, but we want to know what is next for you. We know you have your brands. We know YouTube is still a thing. We know that you have so many spaces where your website where you have merch at is. But what is next for you? What is for the girls who don't know?
So right now, I'm some would call it a pivot, but I call it an expansion. I'm working on right now this concept of it's called The Box, which is going to be a box of resources that's going to be sent to foster kids with curly hair or, kinky natural hair. So it's going to be a box that's filled with any and every resource, but it's primarily like hair. We're starting off with hair care. And I'm hoping to have the first batch of boxes sent out to the girls for Christmas. and it's just hair care and some goodies in there. And it's just going to be a box that I'm hoping to release annually, or maybe even, at the start of the school year, maybe for the summer, things, when kids need a little bit of boost for their self-esteem, or maybe their energy when they're going into school, or, you know what I mean? And so, I just want this to be a really big resource for like foster kids. It's something that they look forward to, because I was a foster kid, like I said, I mentioned, and I didn't have any opportunity to like define who I was. It was like foster parents throwing clothes at you, and it was like, you just had to wear this, or you had to have your hair this way, and they were kind of like boxing you in. And so I want to flip the script and kind of give kids autonomy and agency over how they look, how they present themselves, and how they can like explore who they are. So that's what's next for me. And so I'm gathering all the resources with that. I'm connecting with people. And the first box I think is going to be really dope. You can find out more about it. I'm about to redevelop my website and figure that all out. But right now, some of the information about the box is on my website at shopwillnotwhilly.com. And that's right now. The way I can do but so much in like even a day. I get caught in the weeds of just doing laundry and dishes. So right now it's just the box and the YouTube channel. Okay. Right, exactly.
I relate.
Yeah.
You said, listen, I'm going to do what I can. Well, first of all, this is going to be one of many conversations that we would love to have you a part of. Definitely talk about get into that conversation of, the foster care experience to you and your identity is something definitely we would love to have you back on our show and discuss more. But I know we definitely wanted to get you on to just let everyone know who does not know who you are, your story of content creation and, that motivation of, really embracing your identity. And if you feel like you don't have that confidence, you definitely can. People need that. So we definitely appreciate you for coming in for the time that you have, and we honestly respect it. But this is where we also allow our guests to have people continue the conversation with them on their socials. So first of all, where can people follow you at? Where is the social platforms that people can get into the conversation with you, Will?
You can follow me on you can follow me everywhere. Just don't follow me in real life. I only ask this one thing. Follow me everywhere, just not in real life, sis. Because one of y'all did that one time, and that was not okay. I was on like the 7 train, like deep in the tunnels of New York City, and a girl followed me down the stairs late at night to tap me on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, Will." No, ma'am, because I will turn around, and this arm is swift, and you will get one to the face, Miss Girl. Kapow, right in the face.
Bam.
No, I'm kidding.
Boop, pop.
Boop, bop, bam. Wallop, bam, boom. How about that? No, but I was going to say is you can follow me on Facebook at Will on a Whim. You can follow me on Twitter at Will on a Whim. You can follow me on Instagram at Willnotwhilly. And you can follow me on YouTube.
Okay.
Right, Will Not Willy, because my name is not Willie. It's Will. People still be in my DMs like, "Hey, Willie. Read the thing before you get into the inbox, okay?"
The name is in the bio.
It's right there, Will Not Willy. And then also Will on a Whim on YouTube.
Yes, well, we definitely know people are going to tune in and check you out and things like that. Like we said, we're going to definitely love to have you back on the show to continue the conversation. You are now family to us, the Black Boy Joy community. So definitely you are going to be with us, and we're going to be, chatting it up and keeping you up to date. But thank you so much. But Derwin, where can they follow you at to continue the conversation with you?
You guys know you can find me on Instagram at Derwin King. That's DerwinKing, and on Twitter at Free Negro. That's FREENEGREAUX.
I love your radio voice because I am a hood rat in all capacities, and it is every time the same quiet storm voice. I love it. I love it. I love it, sister. But you all can follow moi on Instagram and Twitter at _Lord Every. That is _LORDEVERY. You can also follow the Instagram of the podcast and the Twitter of the podcast at That Black Boy Joy. If you all would like to watch us on YouTube, you can hit us up and look us up at That Black Boy Joy on YouTube as well. I almost messed it up. If you all would like to be a guest or simply write in, you can look us up on Gmail at thatblackboyjoypodcast.com. And wait, is there one more thing that we're at, Derwin? Or is that the last
website?
one? I think that's it.
Ooh.
Oh no, that's in the works. That is in the works.
Okay.
But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of those things is where the girls are at. But yes, come and chat with us like we always want you all to. And like we always leave our guest with is be so in love with who you are.
Ooh, okay then. Bye.